Hello again, everyone. Age of June here, and we're back with another League of Legends Shoutcast. This one, I'm actually doing something a little different. Every one of my videos previous to this has always been on the NA server because I actually thought that was all I could actually get access to. But I decided today to go ahead and try something a little different and try out doing some EU stuff. Specifically, in this case, I looked for Alex Ich. Alex Ich? I think? Ish. So I actually am able to at least load in here, so hopefully I'm actually able to see the whole game. That would be pretty awesome. He's actually going to be against Alex Rekkles as well, so that is kind of awesome seeing both of them. And I definitely think I will be casting more of EU stuff as well. I originally thought that I couldn't cast anything but NA just because, I've got the NA client, so that's definitely part of it. But I tried connecting once to a game from Australia, I believe, and I was not able to get into that. I don't remember if it was through this or through casted.in, but either way, I wasn't able to connect. So I thought that I couldn't do it, so I didn't even try for the longest time. But today I decided, I want to see. So I'm going to go ahead and try it, and sure enough, it actually does work through proreplays.net. I don't know if I can connect normally to other things or what. Oh, man. He's forced to jump on out of that. I'm not sure if that's what you normally start with. I think that is actually what you normally start with. But either way, he's going to have to go back thanks to that little bit of harass there right at the front. Is he going to get... He's just laughing. Okay, so yeah. I'm pretty happy, though, that I am actually going to get to cast a game from EU. And I'm definitely thinking I'm going to go ahead and include some more from their stuff as well. Maybe someday, if I can ever figure out how, I'll try to get something from the Korean or Chinese servers. But from what I've seen, they don't actually have that on proreplays.net. At least nothing I was able to find. I'll have to check again. But for one thing, it's also, I don't have any idea how to find anybody from over there, because most of them have, Chinese or Korean characters in their name. Yeah, I have no idea how to even input those, much less find them. What is this? Oh, he puts a ward down there. They definitely get seen there. What is this? This is an anti-Pantheon bot lane. What the heck? What is this, EU? What are you doing? I don't know if this is a meta over there. I'm thinking probably not, as I don't think I've seen this in the LCS or anything. But, I don't know. I'm not in their solo queue. For all I know, this could be something somewhat meta for their solo queue. I kind of doubt it. It's looking like it's a kill lane, which is fairly common. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you've got to watch out for the kill lanes. Ooh, Annie took a lot of damage there. She's actually chunked down well below half health from that. And that definitely was not so good for her. So she's actually taking the opportunity here to go ahead and try to get up some health again and recharge that stun at the same time. So let's go ahead and take a look at the players here. Up top, we've got Riven, played by Prince Yami, versus Mundo, of course, played by AVS Steven DX. Mid lane, we've got LeBlanc, played by GG BenQ Alex Ich. So, everybody knows Alex Ich. So, yeah. Alex Ich. He's going to be against Yasuo, played by Jebus. Or Jebus? I'm not sure. Oh, hold up. Let's go back. There's first blood to Thresh. Let's see what happens here. We do see that these guys, a little over a quarter health. Well, a little less than a quarter health down, is what I mean. Oh, she walked way out there. Does manage to stun the Lucian there, but unfortunately that got her in range, so Thresh was able to go ahead and finish her off. And now Pantheon's got to run to get out of this. I think he is going to escape. He gets flayed, takes a little bit more damage from Thresh there. But either way, these guys are playing way too aggressive, I guess, for what's going on here. I mean, they're against Rekkles. Come on, people. In comes the Kha'Zix, though. Nice stun there from the Pantheon. But the Lucian is able to jump out. Very nice flay by that Thresh. Interrupts that Kha'Zix jump and says, no, you're not going to hit my AD carry. And that is exactly what you need to do as a support. So that was actually very impressive. Always good to see people who are that good that can just go ahead and interrupt the dash abilities like that. So anyway, back to the people. As I was saying, we've got Jebus playing Yasuo. Down bot lane, we've got an ADC Pantheon, or sort of. I mean, he's playing in the ADC position. Pantheon, played by Digger, which I'm pretty sure that I has a strange character. accent above it, so I'm not going to get that. Ooh, there. In they go for another gank. The stun from Annie comes out. They're trying to take down the Lucian here. There's comes the Flay. And Kha'Zix says, okay, whatever. I'm going after Thresh. And leaving Annie and Pantheon to go ahead and finish off the Lucian. Fiddlesticks did come in, which was able to go ahead and save that Thresh. But the question is he going to be able to do anything else? I kind of doubt it. Oh, there we go. Lands the fear there. Now he's just draining the Annie, and he does manage to take down the Annie. He's actually got enough damage to finish her off there, so that was actually pretty impressive. Kha'Zix is still hanging around, but he's picked up by the ward, so I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. And really, if Pantheon goes in at all, Fiddlesticks is probably going to finish him off. Pantheon does have the stun, however, so it might not be a complete finish off, but yeah, you never know. In goes the Kha'Zix onto Yasuo here. The LeBlanc does her damage to him. Not going to be enough yet, but he does have the red buff on him. Forced to flash away. He's going to get under his tower. He's going to be safe, but he did have to use his flash. So that was a pretty good gank there. Definitely going to help Alex Ich out a bit. Alright, so the AD carry for the blue team is going to be Fnatic Rekkles playing Lucian. Yeah, he's definitely one that pretty much anybody who's been following the AU LCS scene knows. Both him and Alex Ich. Actually, anybody who watched Worlds knows Alex Ich. Thanks to the guy who is screaming, Alex! Every time that Alex did anything. That was fun. Reddit hated that guy. I would admit, I was mildly annoyed. Ooh, and he walked into the bush there. The fear comes out from Fiddlesticks, forces her to flash out as Lucian jumped in and started doing damage to her. Luckily for her, Thresh was not hanging around. Otherwise, she would have had a really bad time. Gonna go ahead and toss that bird out, hoping that he would get a bounce onto Annie. Not gonna happen, though. Right now, it's kind of surprising that Fiddlesticks has been down here for a really long time. Kha'Zix, it looks like, is actually going up top to go ahead and try to capitalize on this, but it's looking like the red team's going to try to take down this tower. Yasuo's on his way down. We'll take a look up top in a moment, but right now we've got a lot of action going on right here. These guys need to watch out. In comes the Yasuo. They are under tower. They are trapped. Stun comes out onto Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks may end up going down. He is not going to go down, and it actually ended up getting a double kill there for the Lucian. So I'm going to grab my here. There is the gank from Kha'Zix going in on the Mundo. They're going in hardcore there. He pops his ulti. Not going to be enough. Riven's able to finish him off. And that ends up being a 1-for-2 trade. Not really so good, especially since the red team is going to take this opportunity to go for this tower. Which, honestly, I'm not at all surprised. They were sitting down there for so long. It was pretty obvious they wanted to go for that tower. And actually, they may not end up getting it. These minions may interrupt it. It's going to be really close, however. But yeah, it looks like they won't quite get it. The tower's going to remain, but it's about one hit away from death. So it pretty much counts as not even being there. It does mean that they don't get their gold, however. So that's actually a decent thing there for the blue team, but it does force them to come out and, hang out here. And given what we've seen so far, that's really not so good for them. They've not been having a good time in that lane. Honestly, apparently in this particular game, Annie Pantheon, not so good. I think they thought, hey, we can go ahead, chain our stuns, they're going to just get destroyed. But it didn't end up happening that way. There's the stun there from Annie. In goes the Pantheon as well. Does manage to chain that, and it looks like the Lucian does go down, but in came the Fiddlesticks with the ult. Pantheon's going to go down for that. Honestly, had it not been for Fiddlesticks, that would have been worth it. But thanks to that Fiddlesticks gank, they're going to both die here. Annie is going to die very shortly. She goes down to Thresh, and that ends up not even close to being worth it. That was a great gank there from Fiddlesticks. No wards here in the river bush, so the blue team had no idea what was going on there. Looks like a wind wall barely blocked that LeBlanc abilities there, but block it did. Alright, let's continue with the people. We've got Annie, played by Kha'Zix, versus Thresh, played by AOD. And then finally, we've got the junglers, temp name 14536, playing Kha'Zix, and Fiddlesticks, played by GGCN Narcus. There is the dragon there, and Yasuo's trying his best to get out of here. Oh, Riven unfortunately bopped up and down there. But LeBlanc is going in for the kill. We're going to try to do it. There's the wind wall from Lucian. LeBlanc says, I don't care, but in comes Mundo to help. And Yasuo may end up getting out of this. There we go. He is indeed, because there is the Fiddlesticks and Thresh back up there. So Yasuo actually played that pretty well. I liked, if we go back to the original gank here, you see Riven coming down. Okay. Speed this up just a little so we do see Riven coming down. Alright, so right here, she goes in on him, and he says, oh crap, so he sees Riven coming in. There's her ult. He goes ahead, dashes down here, and starts walking this way. Immediately turns around, dashes up this way, and then dashes to that minion, which puts him over here, out of range of Riven. Riven unfortunately runs into that wall and bounces in place instead of walking forward. So that gives him time to get a little bit further ahead. He then goes ahead, sees her coming, takes a little bit of damage there, but the shield blocks most of it. And then he's doing some damage to her. She pops back, and then he puts down the wind wall to make sure anything she throws at him is not going to end up coming. So now, thanks to the Mundo, she's forced to back off, and then in comes the rest of the team there to go ahead and secure that save. But in the meantime, down here, Pantheon and Annie did a little bit of damage there to Lucian. Did force him to fall back to the tower, but he's still going to be fine here. He actually has a mana pot running, interestingly enough. I guess it makes sense. Mana pot not so bad on him. Top lane, Mundo says, hey, watch out, Riven is not here. Be careful. Which, indeed, she was not, but now she is actually getting back up there now. LeBlanc's taking a bit of damage. In comes the Kha'Zix. Again, the wind wall comes out. In goes the Kha'Zix, and down goes the Yasuo. That was a good little gank there. The Yasuo was kind of baited into staying by the LeBlanc, getting so low, and then the Kha'Zix was able to just go ahead, jump in range, and finish him off with that Q. So it was a good gank there, and that definitely helped. Again, it helped LeBlanc get a little bit more fed. Definitely good for Alex Ich. And, oh, these guys gotta run. In comes the Lantern, though. In goes the Kha'Zix. Oh, flash stun there from Pantheon. Not really gonna help, and he just blew flash for that. So, not really ideal, and Kha'Zix unfortunately has already used his ult to try to get into that gank, and now he uses his second charge of it there, and he's forced to go ahead and walk away. Riven's coming down for a gank here. She gets feared there by the Fiddlesticks, and gonna go ahead, jump over that wall. I think she's gonna be fine. She will indeed. They just placed another ward here. Actually, no, they both placed their wards at the same time. A little bit of damage coming out there from LeBlanc onto the Yasuo. The chains coming out. He is stunned. Repeated chains coming out. Did some more damage. Did not stun him on the second hit, though, because she walked out of range. But the Riven ulti was able to do a little bit more damage as well. So he is forced to go ahead and fall back. And down here, we saw a little bit more of a fight. And there we go. Annie's a little bit caught out, she thinks there. And all of a sudden, in comes the Pantheon. She timbers. Wow, that was a great timbers there. Oh, out comes the auto attack. He goes down. They're going in. Gonna go ahead and try to take down this Thresh. Pantheon's taking the tower. There we go. Down goes the Thresh to the Annie as well. And she escapes with under 10 health because she's already regenerated to 14 by the time that I looked at her. So that was a really good tower dive there. The Thresh-Lucian combo thought they were going to be great off of that because, you know, they saw an Annie. They're like, oh, this is going to be great. And then all of a sudden, in comes a Pantheon from the sky. And there really wasn't much they could do to react because as soon as they saw the circle, Annie already had that ulti going. So Lucian tried to get out, but she'd already stunned him. And then as soon as her stun wore off, the Pantheon stun came in. And then Lucian was stuck. There was really nothing Lucian could do. And he ended up melting. Followed immediately after by that turret dive there onto Thresh. And Thresh went down as well. So that was a really good gank there, or return to lane, I guess you could call it there by Pantheon. Wind wall there, blocking any auto attacks. No, you get no damage on my tower. So that's actually kind of funny. Thresh is up here to help, and we do have a gank coming in from Fiddlesticks from the looks of it. He's coming in from behind. She already used her jump there, but she's forced to use her ult jump to get away. She's trying to get out. The Riven is coming down, and there we go. There's the chains. Gonna go ahead and stun that Yasuo. In goes the Riven, but she gets feared by the Fiddlesticks. Oh, nice jump back. I think she still may end up dying to this. Yes, she does indeed, thanks to that ignite. So that ended up being a 1-for-1. Kha'Zix got the kill onto Yasuo there, and I think Yasuo got the kill onto LeBlanc. So not really ideal for LeBlanc. It was a very nice ignite there from that Yasuo. Very nice indeed. Just making sure that he secured that kill. He knew he was dead. He just had to do the best he could. So he is back. In the meantime, though, that does give the blue team the opportunity to go ahead and take this tower. There's really nothing that the red team can do. They are way too far away from this. Blue team's already planted that ward, and looks like Lucian was forced to flash out of this. Yeah, mouth. Why you no work? All right, so Pantheon. Actually, where is Pantheon? Oh, Pantheon's mid. So. Yeah, right. Pantheon's mid, so did she seriously go in on him one-on-one and decide to tower dive him? She is here. She's just actually CSing here. And there's lots of I need help there, probably from Yasuo. Oh, there we go. Her ulti comes out. She actually did a lot of damage. She was forced to pop that barrier, and then the Thresh Lantern ended up finishing her off. Why did she teleport there? That was strange. Looks like she's getting low there. She's trying to get out of this. I think she will end up getting out of it, though. But had it not been for that barrier followed by that Thresh Lantern, the Lucian would have ended up dying there. So that was a really good move by Annie. You don't think of a support Annie as having that much damage, but really she does. She can burst an AD carry really easily. In goes the Fiddlesticks. They're going to go ahead and land the fear there on Annie, who gets flayed as well. Pantheon came in to help, but it's 2 versus 1 here. In comes the Fiddle ult, going to go in, and down goes the Pantheon. So that was a really good little play there by the 2 down bottom. Went ahead, flayed that Annie, got her down, and then turned on the Pantheon. The Fiddlesticks just hid in the bush here. Actually, he wasn't hidden. Pantheon knew thanks to that ward, but he didn't get out of it soon enough, I think in part because of Thresh. So he ended up going down to that, and now they're going to finally take down that tower that they were trying to kill ages ago. But in the meantime, we've got Yasuo and the LeBlanc going at it up in the jungle over here. Yasuo was taking the raids here, and Alex Ich says, hello, jumps over, lands the chain. He put the wind wall in a really poor position there, didn't block a thing, and she manages to go ahead and burst him down. Wind wall, it might have blocked one spell, like as it was spawning, but I don't even think it did that. So it ended up being pretty much a useless wind wall that was just slightly misaimed there, but it was enough that she was able to go ahead and finish him off. Honestly, I can't say I blame him too much. Oh, the chains came out, and he reacted really quickly there, so he was able to back off just in time, so he didn't get hit by the chains. Otherwise, he probably would have died as well. And that wouldn't have been too good for him. Not so good at all. And you do see now LeBlanc is getting really nasty. And that is something that LeBlanc does really well. She's got a lot of burst. I mean, that's pretty much the essence of LeBlanc. And LeBlanc is, hello, I kill you in one round, or, I don't really do much at all. So, we do see her getting to that stage now. She was able to go ahead, just insta-burst that Yasuo, and now she's coming back to lane with a Morellonomicon, which gives her that increased... Oh, in comes the Pantheon drop. Not going to do anything. Gives her that increased CDR, so she can go ahead and burst even more often. Which is good. It's good for her indeed. The Yasuo did go ahead and back off just in time there. Otherwise, that Pantheon would have landed on him, and he would have had a little bit of an unpleasant situation there, as the Pantheon stun probably would have gone in, and then I have a feeling LeBlanc would have gone ahead and jumped in to go ahead and help finish him off. But this does actually mean that is the first dragon there for the blue team. And in the meantime, while they're getting that dragon, LeBlanc is up here going in on the Yasuo. Don't know how well she did. Okay, there we go. She was coming down here, and then she said, oh, hey, I actually need to go help that. So there we go. Jumps up. The wind wall actually did block something there. And then the shield helped as well. His shield is now down, however, so he's got to watch out. There we go. She's going to jump up, lands the chains. No, she didn't land the chains. I'm just kidding. But doesn't matter. Kha'Zix and Ribbon are both here to go ahead and finish him off. Mundo's pushing this top tower. Honestly, though, top tower for mid tower, not so good. That is definitely not in their favor. But we've got all 5 members of this blue team here to go ahead and finish off this tower. So this tower's going to go down, and there's really nothing that the red team can do about it. They're going to have to let this go. We've got Thresh going back now, but that tower's gone anyway. And the blue team wisely backs off. They decided not really worth trying to go for the inhibitor tower right now. They're just going to go for the jungle control. And honestly, the fact that they disappeared there told Rekkles it's time to go. He did not want to get ganked there, and it's definitely a possibility that he could have been being ganked. He wasn't, but he didn't know that. So he had to back off, otherwise risk death. And he's going to be alright now. So we do have Yasuo back in lane, and looks like he's kind of pushing this out. He may end up running into this LeBlanc and Kha'Zix. Oh, hey. Yeah, indeed, goes in, and LeBlanc just bursts him down instantly. He thought, you could tell, he thought he just caught a LeBlanc out, because she turned around and started to run away. No. There was a Kha'Zix waiting in that bush, and he was all set and ready. On the plus side for him, I mean, look at how much damage he did to LeBlanc there. He got her pretty low, considering the fact that he was burst that fast. So he actually has a decent amount of burst himself. And had it not been for the Kha'Zix, I don't know. I think LeBlanc still would have won it, but I'm actually not completely sure. And I have a feeling she's probably going for her Deathfire Grasp to make sure something like that doesn't happen again. He's got his Static Shiv, which gives them that increased crit, gives them the increased attack speed, which benefits his Q. Doesn't really have much in the way of AD at the moment, but honestly, Static Shiv is a really good item on him as well. And he's mid, got that stun primed, ready to go in, and she's just going to walk away. Yasuo may end up chasing her here. Oh, Mundo, you're a little bit caught out. Oh, Riven fails to jump over the wall. The chain comes out from LeBlanc, followed by the double chain there. He is really low. In comes the Annie, gets the stun, and she's able to go ahead and finish him off there. He popped his ult, but it was way too late for that, and he ended up going down. There's a really nice chaining of the chains there. Yes, chaining of the chains by LeBlanc to make sure that he pretty much stayed perma-stunned there. And it looks like Yasuo decided to take the opportunity to go in on Pantheon, but it didn't really look like it was going in his favor, honestly. We've got Lucian pushing bot. And there we go. In he goes, indeed. Does a decent amount of damage, but at the same time, he's taking a decent amount of damage, too. And he missed his wind there. And the Ignite comes out from Pantheon. Pantheon flat. Oh, nice wind wall. But in comes the LeBlanc to go ahead. Misses her chain. In goes the Fiddlesticks. And thanks to that Zhonya's, he's going to live. But in comes the Kha'Zix, so he's not going to live anymore. Pantheon was able to go ahead and finish that off. In comes the Pantheon drop. Going to go in on the Yasuo. Down goes the Yasuo to Kha'Zix, actually. Thresh flashed over the wall, but hey, there was somebody there waiting for him. He manages to take down the Annie, but he goes down as well. So that ended up being a 3 for 2. Definitely in the blue team's favor there. And that's going to give them the opportunity to go ahead and push this up. May end up seeing somebody come down here to go ahead and push this back. But it doesn't look like it. It looks for now like they're just kind of going to go ahead and go back and buy, actually. Yeah, that's definitely what it looks like here. And we do have the MIA, or no, on the way ping. 2 blue buff here. Kha'Zix probably going to go ahead and give that to LeBlanc. LeBlanc's definitely a heavy mana user. She goes through her full combo, and she's not quite. Maybe a mild exaggeration, but it definitely feels that way sometimes. So there we go. She did indeed get that blue buff. That means she's going to be a lot more dangerous. She gets the increased cooldown reduction, gets the increased mana regen, and honestly, it's just good for her all around. This is an interesting... Wait, what is that? Huh. He pulls out a chair. Not just any chair, but, you know, one of those big, huge chairs. And then I was coming up here to look at the Mundo skin, but then I saw that. Looks like he's an exercising Mundo. Oh, Kha'Zix, you are in trouble. Comes in, gets feared there by the Fiddlesticks, and he ends up going down. He had no idea what was waiting for him, and he just gets massively caught out there. That was not so good for him. There was a ping there on Baron. Say, hey, ward that up, please. And he does indeed. And he's down bot, going in on this tower. Taking down the minions to help take it down faster. Pantheon's on his way down to take it down. And surprisingly, I mean, red team hasn't got that many towers. They've gotten the bot tower. That is all they've gotten so far. LeBlanc's a little caught out here. She's got to watch out. Probably has another dash. She does indeed, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Flashes away, but she's still going to end up going down. And Yasuo tanked it just long enough. He's going to get out of this. Going to take another tower shot, but he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. So LeBlanc ends up going down there. And that means that these guys, if they wanted, could go ahead and take down this tower. But it looks like they... Well, Mundo is, I think. He's going to go ahead and go for this. Down bottom, we've got Pantheon and Annie pressing up here. Oh, nice stun there from the Pantheon. Unfortunately, the Thresh flashed under the tower. So there was really no way to follow through. Annie did go ahead and use her stun as well. but they really couldn't do any more damage just because of that tower being there. That and the backup of the rest of the red team meant that, yeah, there's not really much you could do. But we do have a trap set here by the Riven, Annie, and Pantheon. They are ready to go in on this. There we go. Riven showed herself. In goes the Fiddlesticks. Annie flashed Tibbers. Lucian's just about dead. In comes the Pantheon ult. Lands the stun there on Fiddle. Fiddlesticks says, oh crap. Uses his Zhonya's, but unfortunately for him, that just gives time for Kha'Zix to get into range. On the plus side for them, Lucian got out. He almost died there to the Annie burst, but he was able to survive. So he's going to be fine, but still ended up being a 1-for-1. And that wasn't really what the red team was looking for there. They thought they were going to get a free kill off on the Riven. Instead, they got a 1-for-1, and the blue team got Dragon off of it. Oh, missed his stun there again. In comes the Kha'Zix. Gonna go in, slows him, and down goes the Yasuo. Nice little gank there from the Kha'Zix, and LeBlanc was able to go ahead and finish him off. LeBlanc. Man, LeBlanc. Annoying champion to fight against, but she's good. Red team says, hey, we should either, I'm not sure if it was a ward dragon or let's go do dragon. Either way, it's a little late. It's not really going to do much good for them. And Fiddlestick says, hey. Aww. So he just gets declared. That's an interesting skin there. Definitely one of the flags. I'm not sure. I myself am not EU, so I don't. Yeah, I should probably know these things. I know it's one of the Nordic countries, but I'm not sure exactly which one. But either way, it appears to be one of their flags. So it's actually pretty nice. I like that skin. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly which one. Shame on me. Shame on me. All right, down bottom, Annie was pushing that up, but the red team went ahead, pushed up mid here. Thresh tried to land a grab there onto the LeBlanc, didn't end up doing it, and LeBlanc actually just threw a couple of her spells there into that wind wall. Didn't do anything. Kind of surprised she decided to do it because he'd put her wind wall there for a while beforehand. In goes the fight here. Let's rewind this. Alright. I actually want to see that wind wall itself. Alright, so we see them going in on the tower. Missed that. There we go. Okay, so she thought she was going to be able to get him down before he goes through the wind wall because he actually was on the side of it closest to her, but it didn't end up happening. We've got Fiddlesticks here charging up his ulti inside a view of a ward, so we do kind of see the blue team start to fall back. In goes the Fiddle, lands the fear there on the Kha'Zix. Annie's way out here, lands a double Tibbers there, and does a decent amount to Thresh, but she's getting low here. In goes the Riven, Pantheon ult coming out, and the Annie does indeed go down there. Out comes the Pantheon, boom! Lands there, doesn't really hit anybody with the actual ult, but looks like Yasuo is going to go down. Down he goes, Kha'Zix jumped in, I don't think he got anything for that. Gonna go ahead and ulti, and now he's got to try to get either a reset or just stay away. Looks like he's going to go with the stay away. So that ends up being another 1-for-1 here. And I don't know. Red team's pushed back here. They ended up using the Fiddle ult for that. But on the other hand, blue team's put a lot into that as well. 3 ults. It looks like both teams put a lot of ults into that. So, it's pretty much even, I think. I would definitely say that was about even. Ping there from the red team onto blue buff. And it looks like LeBlanc was actually here to go ahead and assassinate. Instead, just pops her passive there and ends up throwing it away to Mundo. She's on a ward. Oh, that was so close. So very close. What is the cooldown on this? 1 minute. 1 minute cooldown. So it'll probably be up before the next fight. Riven actually going in on the blue buff. Going to go ahead and give it to LeBlanc, I would think. But LeBlanc's a while away. So Riven's going to get to tank this for quite some time. There we go. Finally giving it over to LeBlanc there. There we go. Kind of surprised he decided to tank it for that long. We've got Annie and Pantheon coming up here for a gank. Annie's going to see the Mundo. Going to go ahead and run away. But Yasuo's going back. In goes the LeBlanc. Wind wall comes out. LeBlanc says hello. And there we go. Oh, she lands the chain on a minion. That's not really ideal. Jumps back to her thing over here. He's trying his best to get out. Out comes the Kha'Zix, lands the slow there on him. In comes the Pantheon with the stun, and LeBlanc comes in as well, lands the chain, there's the stun, and he's gonna go down to LeBlanc. But it did give time for the rest of the red team to get here. The fear comes out from the Fiddlesticks onto Kha'Zix, but Kha'Zix a little tanky there. He's able to go ahead and get out of that. Pantheon gets hit by a cleaver, and he gets pulled by Thresh, so he's in the middle of them now. In goes the Riven, doing a lot of damage. And Lucian goes down to Riven. Fiddlesticks was able to go ahead and take down both Pantheon and Riven with his ult there, but Kha'Zix was able to go ahead and take down the Thresh and then jump out of it thanks to the reset. So all in all, oh, he might die there. That ended up being, I believe, a 4 for 3 because Annie died as well there. She's back up now. That's why it's not showing. I don't know. I think she might have died beforehand. Wait, where did she die? I don't remember Annie dying. There we go. Where is she? Okay, so she was over here. Let's see what happens to her. Oh, she got hit by a Mundo Cleaver. Yeah, and then in came the Lucian, and she ends up going down to them. Which, on the plus side for them, did reveal her the enemy team to her team, but it's not really going to matter, as they stuck around long enough thanks to that Yasuo. And they got a little cut out there, so yeah, that ended up being a 4 for 3. Not really good for them. Not so good at all. Yeah, that Fiddlesticks ulti's dangerous there. And he actually didn't take any damage from that. They weren't able to burst him down. But, yeah. The only one to survive there was Kha'Zix. So that was a really good on his part, getting that reset, getting out. Because otherwise he would have died as well. I think without the reset he probably would have died. There we go. He's going to be forced to abandon this tower. And he's on her way up. There we go. She doesn't have a stun available, however. Gonna go ahead and DFG. The Fiddlesticks there coming in. Now she has the stun. Kha'Zix jumps in to finish it off, but the Zhonya's means that's not gonna happen. But the Annie was able to finish it off after the Zhonya's wore off, and Mundo stuck around to try to save him, and he ended up going down to Kha'Zix alone. So they ended up turning that from a definitely in their favor to, yeah, definitely in the enemy team's favor. So that was a little unfortunate for them. Kind of overstayed their welcome a little bit there, and they ended up dying for it. Annie's got a lot of burst. You've got to watch out for the Annie. She's charging up her stun again. Not sure what's going on here. Looks like they may be coming up here to go for a Baron. I'm not sure that's the greatest idea. It is warded now. They know it's warded because they just saw it. They're going to go ahead and disable that ward. He plants another one up here. Looks like they're going to let it stay. There we go. They are still going in on the Baron, though, even though the enemy team knows it's there. Honestly, nice little jump in there from Yasuo, but not really nice enough as they just immediately turn on him and burst him down. Baron's not nearly close enough to go ahead and steal, and there we go. Baron does end up going down to Riven using her ulti there just in case that it gets missed and somebody else flashes in to steal it. The red team jungler was nowhere close as he was the one who had died over here. So I guess, you know, it actually was a pretty good idea for them to go in at that time just because of the fact that, you know, it was 100% theirs as long as they didn't die. And they indeed did not die. So they ended up getting that Baron, and that definitely puts them in a really good position for right now. Right. Top wave pushing up here. Lucian using that time to go ahead and get farmed. He's at 193 CS versus 86 for Pantheon. But on the other hand, I mean, oh man. LeBlanc getting close here. She's still getting drained. Oh, she's going to get out. Oh, the ulti from Lucian. No, she jumps away. And she is going to live through this. There's her fake thing, and it's going to go down, and it reveals to them, hey, that's not her. So they realize that they're not going to be able to get her. That was really close, though. Very nicely played there by the red team, but also very nicely played by Alex Ich, getting out of that just barely. And the fact that so many members of the red team are top told Riven and Kha'Zix, hey, let's go for this dragon. What is that Kha'Zix skin? Sure what that Kha'Zix skin is. It's very red. Alright, so these guys are coming up here to go ahead and push. In they go. Out comes the Pantheon ult, landing on the middle of them. He canceled it, so it's not going to happen. Just kidding, guys. Not going to happen. Got all excited for nothing. There will be no Pantheon ult this time. And in the meantime, though, Riven came down here to go ahead and split push this. Put the ward there, probably a good idea. Now she's just going to go ahead and clear up these minions and then push. There's a really big minion wave here. And honestly, she could probably take down the Lucian if he doesn't have backup. So he's forced to back off there. And she is going to go ahead and take down this tower. Meantime, though, these guys are actually engaging. They know that the Lucian's engaged down bottom. Or, you know, he was hanging around there. So they knew it was safe to go in. There's the Pantheon ult again. Gonna go in. The wind wall comes out from Lucian, but in comes the LeBlanc from behind it. So he just gets burst down instantly. And now Lucian's like, well, I wish I was there. Nope. Didn't end up happening. And they ended up getting a 1-for-0 there. And the tower goes down as well. Riven's continuing to push this. So they've got to react to this. They're gonna go ahead and try to keep her off of it. But it's a 5 versus 4 right now. Kha'Zix jumps in, gets pulled there by the Thresh. In goes the rest of the blue team, though. Riven goes in, lands the stun there. The Thresh is just about to go down. Lucian was able to take down Riven. That is 2 people really low. Down goes the Lucian to Annie. Mundo takes down Annie, though. And Kha'Zix jumping out, not going to be good enough. He goes down as well. But LeBlanc and Pantheon are both still up here. So they're doing a bit of damage to the tower here. Yasuo is coming in to go ahead and try to stop them, but there isn't much that he could do alone, as they both have enough burst and CC together that it's not going to end up happening. There we go. There it is. That's what I was talking about right there. Pantheon stun comes out. Yasuo's not able to do anything. Puts the wind wall down. Blocks some of LeBlanc's stuff, but enough of it had already gone through that he just melted there, and down he went. So there really wasn't much he could do versus the 2 of them, and they're going to get the inhibitor for this, as well as that kill, whereas before they just would have gotten the inhibitor. Down it goes indeed. But they are going to be forced to back off now, obviously. There's no minions that are close enough to go ahead and stick around, and the enemy team's coming back up. So getting out of there, probably a good decision. LeBlanc's going to go ahead, take down the blue buff here, and eventually. She's pretty slow at it, but she does end up getting it. And she's got red buff, too. It's an older red buff, though. And there's the ping on the blue buff on their side. I'm not sure who that one's going to go to. I don't know. I'm thinking probably Kha'Zix, actually. Okay, that's Mecha Kha'Zix. He was just funny looking a little while ago. Oh, probably because he was in the middle of his ulti. I don't know. He was very red earlier, and now he's not. Now he looks like Mecha Kha'Zix. And before he looked like, I don't even know. Ooh, Annie going in on Yasuo here. Yasuo's got to watch out. Annie's got that stun primed. And there we go. Uses her timbers there, and whoa! Just insta-bursts him. What exactly finished him off there? I don't know. Okay, so here she is chasing him down. Alright. She's got the stun, the timber stun. There we go. There that is. Uses her DFG right after. And a Q comes out, and the Q is what finishes him with the W there. Wow. I didn't realize that she was able to do quite that much damage. The DFG was a lot of it, but she was able to burst him down huge there, and she almost ended up taking down the Lucian as well. He was able to finish her off, but still, that was impressive there. I mean, he went from 100 to nothing within one stun. And, you know, it is Annie, so I guess it's not really all that surprising, but it is still somewhat surprising here. Ah, there we go. Pantheon stun comes out onto Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks getting low. In comes the Thrash. The Zhonya's comes out from Fiddlesticks, but he still ends up going down as soon as it comes up, and they're still doing damage. Gets the pull there onto the Kha'Zix. Not really going to help all that much, though. Stun comes out onto Mundo. He's got that ult going there, so he is going to get out of this. And they're forced to walk back. Nice culling there from Lucian means that down goes the Riven. In goes Alex Ich, though, does a lot of damage to Lucian. Thresh getting low here. Gonna go down to Alex Ich, and that ends up being a 2-for-1. So that definitely comes out in the blue team's favor, and they're going to go ahead and go for this tower. Pantheon lands that stun there onto the Yasuo, but Yasuo's going in, manages to pop the Pantheon up, but in came the LeBlanc to finish him off. Mundo was able to finish off the Kha'Zix. Oh, the Pantheon ult, the stun comes out from Alex Ich, and the Pantheon ult right after. And I think Mundo may end up being able to finish off the Pantheon. No, he's not! He's not able to finish him off. The LeBlanc had her spells up just in time to go ahead and finish off that Pantheon. who's now kind of bad-mannering here. And in goes the, in goes the Fiddlesticks, says, you know what, dude? Screw you. You just sitting over here taunting my people. You die. And that's exactly what happened. Pantheon got cocky, and he paid the price for it. Nice little ult there from Fiddlesticks. Not sure it was completely worth it, given the fact that he was already so low. And, you know, it's one person, and that's a pretty big ult. But it's got a pretty decent, like, short cooldown now with his CDR. I could be wrong. He doesn't actually have any CDR. So, yeah, still a long cooldown, but it may end up being up before the next team fight. If it is, then it was worth it. If it's not, well, he messed up. But we do see Baron coming up soon, and that definitely lends to the belief that that was not worth it. Because having that ult is pretty important for when Baron comes up. Because a lot of times you see them posturing around Baron, and that means team fights. And if you don't have your ulti in a team fight as Fiddlesticks, it's not going to go very pretty, as that is his big damage dealer there. We do see the blue team coming over here to go for that Baron, and there's not too much the red team can do. Fiddlesticks does have flash, and he's got the smite there, but he doesn't have the ulti. So we'll see what ends up happening here. The inhibitor here did just respawn, and we've got the blue team ready here to catch people out. Not going to happen. They're going for the Baron now. They said, let's just go for it. Lucian's down bottom. They saw him down there, and they said, hey, why not? There we go. They are all going in on it. Pantheon's holding off over here to go ahead and just keep them away. And Annie, it kind of looks like she's circling around for a kill here. There we go. There goes the Pantheon ult. Annie's stun comes out, and the Pantheon stun as well. Down goes that Yasuo, and Riven actually got the kill on Baron there. So things are not looking good for the red team. They just lost a member of their team, and they lost Baron, and the enemy team gained Baron, which is not good news. It's a 4 versus 5, and the 5 have Baron. That's terrible news. Terrible news. They did manage to push bot lane away from that inhibitor for now, but these guys are pushing down mid, and that's going to give the red team a pretty hard time here. There we go. They are indeed going for this tower. I don't think that the red team can stop this. No, not even close. It is going down way too fast. Thought for a second LeBlanc was actually going to insta-burst somebody. Didn't end up happening. Down goes that inhib. Now they're going to cycle over, rotate to this inhib. Pull comes out from Thresh onto the Kha'Zix. Not so great there. Doesn't really matter. Kha'Zix is actually pretty tanky in this game. And there we go. The red team is all up finally, so it is actually kind of making the blue team be somewhat cautious. Oh, the stun from Pantheon lands there on the Yasuo, and he melts there. Fiddlesticks comes in with his ult, and Zhonya's, but it's not really going to help. The stun comes out from Annie onto Mundo. Riven finishes off the Mundo, and now down goes the Thresh to LeBlanc. And now the only ones left are the Lucian and the Fiddlesticks, who just died to Annie because, you know, Annie and Burst and Annie. And now it's 4 members of the blue team up against Lucian, who just went in to try to take down the Annie and was immediately scared back there by the Kha'Zix. He's coming back into here. He may end up being able to take down the Annie. She's getting really low here. But if he goes in on that, he's going to die for it. And we do have the blue team going to go ahead and take down this tower. And I think this may end up being GG. The chains come out. Yeah, it's definitely going to be GG. The blue team's going in onto the Nexus here. And Cullen comes out from Lucian. Doesn't end up hitting all of it, though. Kha'Zix ult, trying to get away from it. The Q comes out from Yasuo, who just about dies to Annie there. And Riven says hello. And down he goes to LeBlanc. Nobody's died yet from the blue team. And that's going to be the game. The Nexus is gone. So that was really well played there by the blue team. That was pretty enjoyable to watch. The red team was definitely outclassed this game. 73,000 to 58,000. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. Let me know if you do have any other people you want me to cast. You know, it won't be a solo cast, although I can do that too if you want. Let me know if you do want a solo cast of them instead of a full cast like this. But yeah, just let me know if you have anybody in particular. So I'll go ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.